So yeah, making a video. I guess I just kind of wanted to make a video that's not ASMR. Just kind of rambling, talking about random stuff. Again, it's kind of interesting, like a lot of the YouTube channels I used to watch, just basically startup YouTube channels by random people. And thinking about them, it's kind of funny. Like, again, microphones, like there's, people that talk about microphones all day. And the thing about microphones is if you get a dynamic microphone, you need a really good preamp to power it, or there's going to be an audible hiss in your recordings. And even if you get like a very, very good preamp, the theoretical best EIN, which is like the self noise of the preamp when cranked all the way up, is around negative 132 dBu, which is not very good. It still has an audible hiss if you're using a dynamic microphone. So technically my standards is no possible audible hiss coming from the preamp or microphone. So in order to do that, you need a low self-noise condenser microphone. Most small diaphragm condenser microphones are 13 dBA self-noise, which is still audible. So you have to get a large diaphragm condenser with a good circuit board, so that it's sensitive enough to not stress a preamp, so that you have to use all the gain on the preamp. And it has to have a low self-noise circuit board, and it has to have a good sound signature. For whatever reason, it's very weird. I would say 99% of microphones have severe tonality problems that is usually displayed on the advertised frequency response. So when you talk into those microphones, they literally sound unnatural and funky. And they can be very expensive microphones and they'll still sound like that. So the frequency response has to be basically dead flat with a treble bubble boost above like 3 kilohertz to 9 kilohertz. And that makes the sound more open, clear, articulate. If you don't do that, it's kind of completely flat, kind of sounds a little bit strange, a little bit dead, a little bit lifeless, but actually even worse than that to some degree, because I feel like the way that they measure microphones, it's supposed to have that treble bubble to just open up the sound. So it's almost like, it's kind of like headphones. Headphones are kind of like, a lot of people say that like you should get really flat headphones so that it sounds natural, but that's not really the target, diffuse field target that people use. If you have a headphone that's flat on the diffuse field measurement target, it doesn't have enough bass emphasis. It sounds shouty, so you have to scoop around 3 kilohertz where the ear gain is to kind of widen the sound, because that's the presence ear gain region where your ear is most sensitive. And there's just not enough bass energy that you can feel that's impactful unless you boost it by like 10 dBs in the sub bass and a little bit in the mid bass. So I mean, and technically the headphones that people claim are flat, like a lot of people will say the Sennheiser HD600 headphones are the flattest headphones in the world, when they literally do not have a good bass extension. Not only is it not emphasized, it actually rolls off a lot of bass. So you have no bass. And then in the treble above 5 kilohertz, it's pulled down. So the bass is gone, the treble is gone, all you have is mids. And people are so dumb, they think that's flat. So you have like, I forget, from like 200 hertz to 5 kilohertz audible on the Sennheiser HD 600s. There are some treble spikes above 5 kilohertz, which gives it a very grainy, rough texture to the treble, but it sounds veiled with these little treble shard spikes and a huge amount of 5 kilohertz, prominently. There's like a spike at 5K on just about every Sennheiser headphone in the 500 and 600 series. And it actually gets worse with like the 660S, which is like the most expensive 600 series Sennheiser headphone. It has the most severe 5 kilohertz peak. Yeah, so there's a lot of like these headphones have really good treble extension all the way to 20 kilohertz. They have the treble bubble around 9K, They have the 3 kilohertz scoop. They have the bass emphasis and boost. So these are impactful, dynamic, lively, articulate, clear, wide soundstage, amazing sounding headphones. And after a few months of use, the treble smooths out, so there's no shrillness. You have to learn how to tune audio equipment. Again, these Neumann microphones, these are the most transparent sounding microphones I've ever used in my life. And again, I've used just about everything and listened to just about everything. And, in my opinion, these headphones and this microphone is the most transparent, accurate, flattering, good sounding equipment you can possibly get. And I'm sticking to it, just the overall performance is insane. And I literally cannot find better. And I've looked at everything. So it's kind of interesting when I come across like audio channels that talk about headphones, IEMs, microphones, and they just keep buying and buying and buying and reviewing equipment. And honestly, I wouldn't trust people that have headphones hanging up on their wall, that have a bucket full of IEMs, that go through 1,000 microphones. It's a sign of incompetence, but some people think it's a sign of experience and knowledge to have a huge collection of garbage. It kind of sucks that I can't, review every single audio product these days because I'm not stupid enough to buy it anymore because I found the best equipment on the market. But I don't know, it's kind of interesting to see YouTube channels out there that dedicate their time to collecting and hoarding, tons of garbage. I don't know. Just a little depressed about the channel not getting recommended. But, anyways.